I'm Rita Alfaro, and you're watching Off the Record, our interview series with our Amplify 817 artists. And today we have Tommy Luke. Take it away, Tommy.
She's my Oklahoma looping angel. She's my Oklahoma looping thing. She's got hula hoops for wings and a hula hoop for a halo. She's my Oklahoma looping angel. Well, she lives up in Muskogee with her mom. Now I live down here in Texas by her pa. Now she don't really miss me, but sometimes she wants to kiss me. And her granny lives up north in Arkansas. She's my Oklahoma hooping angel. She's my Oklahoma hooping thing. Well, she's got about 2 hula hoops for wings and a hula hoop for a halo. She's my Oklahoma hula hooping angel. She's my Oklahoma hula hooping angel. She's my Oklahoma looping thing. She's got hula hoops for wings and a hula hoop for a halo. She's my Oklahoma hula, Oklahoma hula, Oklahoma hula hooping angel. That's right.
Hi, Tommy. Thank you for that amazing performance of Oklahoma Hula Hoopin' Angel. That's one of my personal favorites. Do you want to talk a little bit about that or your inspiration behind that?
Sure. It's about a girl that I dated for a little bit, and I met her in Oklahoma, and she really likes to hula hoop. She was pretty good at it. And that's why I wrote the song. She's in prison right now for killing somebody, but that's not what the song's about.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. That's a really interesting story, though. I don't know if we've had that inspiration yet when we've talked about the songs, but that's interesting. So she's just hula hooping somewhere else now.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can bring a hula hoop to prison, but hopefully.
Maybe they smuggled one in for her. But where do you get the inspiration for most of your songs?
I listen to a lot of old folk music and early Bob Dylan and stuff like that, Townes Van Zandt, and just got into songwriting and really dug the whole folk music, old school stuff, just dug into it, I guess.
Do you feel like you've transitioned from any genre to one genre from another? Like, were you like a hardcore punk rocker and then just kind of fell into this bluegrass, old country style sort of thing?
Not as a little bit, but
Yeah.
not like punk to country, you know, but somewhat, yeah. Because the more music you listen to, you learn more about it, and you know, progress, and it changes. I'm glad I don't sound the same as I did whenever I started.
That's a really important thing. I think people forget that, you know, people get upset when somebody comes out with a new album. They're like, oh, it sounds a little different than their first one, but why would you want somebody to not grow and progress and do new things? So I'm glad. I think your music's fantastic. Who are some of the people that you've played around with in the area, or some of your favorites that you played with in the country?
It's a long list of people, of great people. Whenever I first started, I started at open mics and met a lot of people around town back then. Like there was this host named Riyadh El Masri that hosted the open mic at the Cellar. And he was really inspirational. His songs were so cool. I actually still sing one of his songs at pretty much every show. Really cool song about a wild jaguar called Macho B. But yeah, that's when it all started. And then started hosting open mics myself at a couple places around town, and it just grew from there. I met all types of people like Leon Bridges, Vincent Neil Emerson, and Scott Copeland, and all these great songwriters and musicians, and it just grew from there.
Who are some local favorites of yours that you still currently kind of play with, or at least jam with a little bit?
Definitely Vincent Neil Emerson, and I wish I could play with Scott Copeland more, but he's kind of like, he just lives out in his own world. I don't really talk to him much, but he's great. I want to play with him some more. Keegan McEnroe is great to play with around here, and Jenny Mac is great. There's lots of great musicians in this town, and I'm glad to know a lot of them and call them my friends. You know, it's pretty cool.
Do you feel like there's a really good sense of community here in Fort Worth as far as musicians go? Because we've had a few people talk about how other cities, it's kind of hard to break through, or you kind of feel like you're alone, but we always get just these amazing compliments in Fort Worth about like how it's so easy to collaborate with others or just make connections or find people, I guess, to work with.
Yeah, I think it's a really supportive community of musicians that like to listen to each other's songs, and there's a lot of different stages to play on and places to play that are fairly easy to get into, you know, places to record. It's kind of cheap, and some really nice places, really nice stages, and really small stages, really expensive studios, really cheap studios. There's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you've kind of made I guess not super recent name change, but you go by Tommy Luke now, but before you were going by the other part of your name, MacLeod. Why the name change?
Because my last name is just a little hard to say and a little hard to spell, and my first name is Tommy and my middle name is Luke, and I don't know why I never realized that I could just go by Tommy Luke, because that just kind of rolls off the tongue. Fits on the marquee and stuff like that, so easy to remember.
So it wasn't like an image change or anything? Wasn't
no,
like
not
Prince
really.
going by a symbol or something?
No, no, it's just my whole name is Tommy Luke MacLeod, and I just cut the last name out because it's just too many letters in there.
So I know you were in a band before you were kind of solo, Big City Folk. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and kind of your transition from that to solo?
Yeah, those were the good old days. It's probably around 20, 21 years old, and wanted to start a band. My buddy got a banjo, and I liked playing guitar, and we bought my buddy an upright bass, and we met a mandolin player. We just started playing all the time and trying to book shows and singing songs and stuff, and that's where it started. It's good times.
So is anybody still kind of playing from that band? Are you still in contact with them? Or is everybody just kind of like, all right, solo time?
No, I'm still, those are some of my best friends. We got Brian Bersino that plays banjo, lives down in San Marcos now. Martin Sargent, which plays the upright bass, and he lives down in Wimberley, and those are two of my best friends still today. We had a mandolin player, Daniel Krim, which is still a local musician, and that was Big City Folk. We're all still good friends.
Okay, that's awesome. So I do want to ask, because we kind of got a little preview of you before, I guess, we signed you to Amplify. You were featured in one of our Fort Worth videos, Living with the Sleeping Panther, which was kind of a docu-series from one of our good friends, John David Bartlett. Shout out to John David if he's watching. What was that experience like? I know that was kind of spliced and you were in a few of the videos,
that was cool.
Not the whole thing, but
that was cool. Just being around that guy and meeting that guy, and becoming friends with that guy. It's really cool. If you don't know that who he is, you got to look him up and watch that video. But it was cool. I think I played some upright bass, and then Denver Williams on guitar, and he sang some of his songs, I believe, and it's a pretty cool video. And listening to him talk about the music history of Fort Worth, I could go on for days. He can go on for days, not me.
Fort Worth has a very strong music history, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, and it goes beyond just one genre. We've got a really great jazz history, but he was talking about like Texas psych music and like performances, and I guess just different places that people had to perform. What are some of your favorite local places to perform at?
Lola's Saloon, Lola's Trailer Park, my favorite spot right there.
You like the outdoor stage?
Yeah, well, I like the indoor stage too, and then there's even a third stage in the middle, and the little stage in the middle. So I'd love to play on all three of those stages all day, every day. I host an open mic at MacLeod's Pub, kind of on the River Oak side of town. That place is cool. The open mic's every Tuesday night, 7 to 10. Stand-up comedians and musicians are all welcome, dog-friendly, so I love MacLeod's.
Shout out to Dippy, your dog.
Yeah, Dippy the dog. We're going to put him in the video.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of places to play. Fred's, I just played Fred's a couple days ago. Love that spot. They're about to move locations to Camp Bowie.
Which makes me happy, because I don't like their 7th location. But I'm really glad they'll be more accessible, I feel like. Yeah.
I do like the West 7th location just because I used to go there before it was West 7th. It was like, it used to just be a couple warehouses and a couple fields right there, but now it's just like condos. But yeah, I'm going to miss that, but I'm glad they're not shutting down. They're just moving over to Camp Bowie. Trying to think of more venues that I love. Magnolia Motor Lounge is always the greatest, and there's plenty more. I'm just kind of.
That's okay. There's so many venues out there, and everybody always kind of gives us a little different taste of different ones. So that's awesome. Quick question though. I know you just finished a very large tour, or very long tour. How was that? Any favorite locations or stories you've got to tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a lot. I have to think about it for a minute, but. There's a lot of cool places that I went, cool people that I met. Everywhere from New Orleans was great, Chicago was great, Kentucky was great. I love Nashville, it's one of my favorites. New York City, Buffalo, New York, all that stuff up there is great. I went to Detroit for my first time, and that was the place that I played was really cool, one of the coolest places ever, but the city itself was like abandoned.
Yeah.
Like all the buildings were abandoned, falling down, and whenever the buildings did fall down, nobody picked it up. It was just falling down buildings everywhere. And I'm like, well, let's go downtown and see if there's people here. We go downtown and there's like nobody walking around, and it's like on a Saturday, and I'm like, this is weird. It's like a ghost city. Never seen that before, but that was crazy. Yeah, I like all the places I go. Wisconsin was cool. Yep.
Yeah. So you travel a lot, but I know you mentioned that you'd always like to come back to Fort Worth, always back home. Is Fort Worth where you were born and raised, or?
Yeah, I was born at JPS in Fort Worth. Went to school around Fort Worth and Granbury and Sanger, Denton, and Burleson, and mostly Fort Worth. I love it here.
Yeah. Shout out to Sanger. I used to teach there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Sanger.
They couldn't say my last name, but it's fine. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us. We really, really appreciate it. And now we've got 2 more songs from Tommy Luke.
I'ma go into that mountain, I'ma go in all alone. I'ma go into that mountain all alone. Yes, I'ma go into that mountain to sing a lonely song. No one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, nobody's gonna miss me. When I leave, nobody's gonna know. So I drink another shot of whiskey. No one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. Well, I hit that lonesome trail through the valley. I had a lot of whiskey in my head. Those things that I heard from Gypsy Sally made me really wish that I was dead. She said that you will never be the kind of man you want to be. Your eyes are full of hatred and your mind is full of greed. All the things around you, all the things that you don't need. No one's gonna miss you when you die. When you die, nobody's gonna miss you. When I leave, nobody's gonna know. So I drink another shot of whiskey. No one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. I'ma go into that mountain, I'ma go in all alone. I'ma go into that mountain all alone. I'ma go into that mountain to sing a lonely song. No one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, nobody's gonna miss me. When I leave, nobody's gonna know. So I drink another shot of whiskey. No one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. I said no one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. I said no one's gonna miss me when I'm gone. Tell me where have you been all day? I've been sitting at home with nothing to do. Tell me where have you been all day? Well, I went to the bar and I'm waiting on you. I went to the bar, I bought you a beer, I bought you a shot, and I thought you'd be here. I played all your favorite songs on the jukebox, and I'm sitting here all alone. Tell me where have you been all day? I've been sitting at home with nothing to do. Tell me where have you been all day? Well, I went to the bar, I bought you a beer, I bought you a shot, and I thought you'd be here. I played all your songs on the jukebox, and I'm sitting here all alone. Tell me where have you been all day? I've been sitting at home with nothing to do. Tell me where have you been all day? Well, I went to the bar and I'm waiting on you. Yes, I went to the bar and I'm waiting on you. Baby, I'm waiting on you.
Off the Record is produced by the Fort Worth Public Library in support of our dynamic Fort Worth arts and cultural community. Amplify 817 is made possible in part through the financial support of the Fort Worth Public Library Foundation and community support of Here Fort Worth.